Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Cover Zero podcast, the show where I cover the least in the best way possible. I'm your host, Jason Wells. Today is Wednesday, December 31st, and I think I found the perfect stat to sum up this season so far. The Packers are 0-3 when they don't punt the entire game. That in itself is crazy. And then the Eagles are 3-0 when they have 5 or less passing yards in a half. Neither of those really makes sense, but neither does this season. It's been a wild year. We are almost done. We had some, crazy finishes and games this past week, and this is what this episode's going to be about. We're going to talk about all of these games. Like usual, recapping the week. A little behind-the-scenes things with me. Obviously, no episode last Friday. And no, it wasn't just because I was too into the holiday spirit. Actually got food poisoning, but I won't get into that. So it's been a time. So we'll leave that Friday episode. It's vaulted. It will never see the light of day. I don't think anything was really too crazy of what I would have said in it anyways. But I guess, I could have to wait a little bit longer for NFL Weekly Update. But no. Holidays was good. Other than the getting sick, of course. Nice to see all my family. Nice to see my little nephew. The drive is far. The drive wasn't great, too. Snow on the way there. The weather in Fredericton is now god-awful here. But we're back. We've made it. The new year is almost here. NFL season is almost done. But let's just get right into the Week 17 NFL recap then. Again, going to be a little bit quicker than usual. Starting off with the game that we watched last night, Monday Night Football, Falcons at Rams. That doesn't sound right. It was Rams at Falcons, was it not? Look at that. Already getting something wrong off the bat. Yep. Rams at Falcons. Rams 24, Falcons 27. I did say, I think a couple weeks ago, and I know I definitely texted it to people, but I think I even said on the podcast where it would not shock me where if Matt Stafford has an okay game against the Seahawks where they lose, and then all of a sudden they play the Falcons with Raheem Morris, who knows this team, and blah, 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 primetime spot, and they lose again. All of a sudden that MVP thing is up for grabs. And after that game now, Matt Stafford is officially second in odds right now. I think he's plus 300. Drake May is now the heavy-ish favorite to be MVP. And I know that casinos and sports books, what the odds show isn't what's actually going to happen. They're trying to save their own butts. They're trying to kind of cut down on trends so people can't make a bunch of money off them. That's obviously their entire goal. And this isn't me saying, Drake May shouldn't win MVP. Drake May's had a phenomenal year. He deserves MVP in a bunch of other years. Matt Stafford should absolutely still be the MVP this year. I don't know why one game in Week 17 is the deciding factor in everything that's happened. Just 2 weeks ago, we saw Drake May and the Patriots blow a 21-point lead to the Buffalo Bills. And then, they blew out the XFL Jets last week. It's not, again, it is a week-to-week league, but Stafford going into that game as, again, the heavy-ish MVP favorite, not having a great game, and all of a sudden it's nope. Long on, I sprinkled a little bit of money on Stafford, now they got plus odds again, because I just think between, the legacy and the sympathy vote that Matt Stafford is going to get, he's going to win MVP. I think it's ridiculous that this game clearly has so much factor, there's so much other things behind it. Just the Rams' strength of schedule versus what the Patriots have had to go up against. I think Stafford is still the MVP. Obviously, if Drake May wins, I'm not going to be upset about it. Will I be upset just because the Patriots have an MVP quarterback again? Yes. But will I be upset that Drake May actually won the award? No. I like Drake May. Drake May's had an incredible year. He deserves MVP in some instances, just not against Matt Stafford. I think it's ridiculous that, again, this is where it's going, and these are the narratives and blah, 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 and it is such a week-to-week league, but you're telling me that if let's say this Rams-Falcons game happened week 1. All right, it's out of our memories, whatever. And remember what the Patriots did week 1? If we take that Raiders-Patriots game, we move it to this week instead. And all of a sudden, oh yeah, the Patriots and Drake May lose to the worst team in the league. Yeah. Matt Stafford would be the heavy MVP favorite if that were to happen. So the fact he's not even the favorite, even though it's a season-long award and all these things, I think it's crazy. Again, Vegas doesn't know. Vegas doesn't actually know who's going to win. They're trying to save their own skin, just betting-wise, and trying to... But I think it's absolutely absurd that the way that the odds and the trends go. But I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about the Rams, really. Like, they are essentially resting people at this point. Devontae Adams absolutely could have played, but it's like, why play a game that really doesn't matter? They couldn't win the division. They can't get the 1 seed. Again, them winning this game, it would have been, I think, if they won, they would have been in control for like the 5th seed wild card, which plays the winner of the NFC South division, which is just, again, a shit show. So yeah, it does make sense in like that aspect, but I don't think the Rams miss out on a ton. They're still waiting to get Tyler Higbee back. They're missing Alaric Jackson. So like, I think they're probably going to rest guys next week and just kind of have it be like everyone get healthy. They're going to have, who are they going to play that opening week then? They'll play the Eagles or they'll play the Bears? Potentially, yeah. Yeah, they'll play the Eagles or Bears. Both will be tough matchups. Both will be fun matchups, and no one wants to play the Rams. I can guarantee you that. No one wants to play the Rams. Falcons on the other side. Little too late, obviously, but I think it's been enough for Raheem Morris to save his job. Again, I don't know how much. That's just me personally being like, oh, he's been on the hot seat. I still think Terry Fontenot should be fired, just the way that quarterback situation was handled. Kirk Cousins is still like a fine quarterback. I think we all knew this. Kyle Pitts is probably going to get a big payday. I don't know if it'll be from the Falcons. Bijan Robinson, actually, boom, that's the thing I have to talk about. Bijan Robinson, again, we'll talk about all these incredible offensive years that people have had. Bijan is, again, having a one-of-one. I mean, not a one-of-one year, because there's so many guys who are kind of not replicating, but like CMC's having a crazy year. James Cook's having a crazy year. Jonathan Taylor was having a crazy year. Devon Achane, JSN, Puka. Like, the list goes on long for Offensive Player of the Year, but what Bijan does is special. Again, running backs are a dime a dozen, but if you get that top tier, that kind of level guy, there is an absolute difference. And yeah, what Bijan can do at that size, I mean, the breakaway speed, I mean, his 90-yard run, I don't know who was trying to catch him there. It might have been Cam Kitchens, but like, I thought that Kitchens was going to catch him. Like, I thought they're like, oh, okay, like Bijan looks like he's slowing down, but he looks like he's moving slow, but he's still obviously going like 22 miles per hour. Like, he's fucking flying down the field. Bijan's great. The Falcons, again, James Pierce Jr. again made some plays. Shout out to second-year guy Brandon Dorlus. I think 8.5 sacks on the year now. Did leave the game with an injury, but he's absolutely broken out for this team. And now all of a sudden, I'm not hyped about the Falcons going into next year by any means, but like, there's enough pieces on this defense for me to be interested. Oh, Xavier Watts. That's another guy who I need to talk about. 2 interceptions, 1 pick six, almost 2 pick sixes. Maybe he's in the Defensive Rookie of the Year race now because it is a week-by-week award, I guess. I mean, no one wants to win that award anyways. No one wants to win a lot of these awards. Offensive Rookie of the Year is also all over the place. We'll talk about that when we talk about fucking Tyler Shuck probably when we get to that Saints game. Either way, all of this to say, doesn't really mean a lot for the Rams. Doesn't really mean a lot for the Falcons anyways. It's not like, oh, they're getting a worse pick. The Rams are actually getting a worse pick. So this was probably like the worst case scenario for the Rams in this game. But ultimately, doesn't really matter. We'll go all the way back to Christmas now to these games. Cowboys 30, Commanders 23. Listen, I was busy, obviously, on these days and didn't get to pay a ton of attention, but yeah, the Cowboys scoring 30. That doesn't surprise me whatsoever. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. They're still great. Javonte Williams, did he leave the game? I thought, yeah, he left the game with a shoulder injury. Rookie Malik Davis ended up coming in, 20 carries, 101 yards. Cool. They might have like a good tandem then going into the playoffs, but going into next year. But I think Javonte Williams is a free agent, so just disregard all of that. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. And obviously the Cowboys defense sucks because Josh Johnson was able to move the ball, again, not well, but well enough to make this a one-score game at the end, which, again, good job, Josh Johnson. Way to be 38 years old and just hanging around and still not playing bad football. Credit to you, I guess. Bill Krosky-Merritt, 11 carries, 105 yards, 2 TDs. He outscored Jahmyr Gibbs in fantasy playoffs, which is, again, something absolutely crazy to say. Yeah, I don't really have a ton to say about the Commanders. Like, let's just be real. Shout out to Johnny Newton, the big Commanders defensive tackle. Was a second-round pick in the 2024 draft. I really like Johnny Newton. In that draft, it was him and Byron Murphy as, like, the top 2 defensive tackles. And because of, like, health concerns, that dropped Newton a little bit, and he ended up being, like, an early second-round pick still. And first year, again, the health stuff and, like, whatever. Now he's coming into his own, but this was kind of, like, a big breakout game for him. He had 3 sacks, 5 QB hits, and 9 tackles in this one. Again, we're talking about building blocks on this Commanders defense. You hope that he maybe can be one, because other than that, there's not a lot of things to really be optimistic about this team in general. But either way, we can go on to the next game here. Lions at Vikings. Justin Jefferson now has the most receiving yards in a player's first 6 years, passing former Viking Randy Moss. Hilarious just because of how bad of a season Justin Jefferson is having, and he's not having like a bad season. Again, he's still probably going to hit 1,000 yards. I think he's close. He might be able to do it. They play the Packers this week, so maybe, but if Max Prosper's playing, probably not. But yeah, I mean, despite the horrific season just kind of from the Vikings across the board, they're now, what are they on the year? 9-8. Does that sound right? No, because that would be, they're 8-8 right now on the year. And the Vikings season has been bad. Like, let's just be, they've had some of the worst QB play. Yes, JJ McCarthy had 3 good games in a row where it was like, oh, he looks like he might be a 15 to 20 range quarterback. Ooh. And now he's hurt again, but regardless. They've had bad QB play basically this entire year. And they still have a chance to be like an above 500 team. This Vikings roster is very good. I think that a lot of people in the Vikings front office are really kicking themselves for not bringing back Sam Darnold or not bringing in some kind of competition, maybe just keeping Daniel Jones on the team in general. Because again, if they had competent QB play, this is probably a team that's pushing for this division, that's going to be in the wild card race. And now, right now they're 8-8 on the year. We'll see how that last game goes for them. But all you can say is disappointing. And you hope that JJ McCarthy just gets better next year and keeps developing into like being a competent, adequate, again, a QB in the 10 to 20 range, like where you can actually win with. But until then, I don't know. They've spent a lot of money. They wasted a lot of draft capital for naught, essentially, right now. And it's disappointing. This Vikings team is really good. Brian Flores is, chef's kiss. He's one of the best defensive coordinators in football. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to get hired again in this coaching cycle just because he's suing the NFL. But I'll get into that in a later show when I'm kind of breaking down the offseason and stuff and talking about head coaches because, yeah, I've had Brian Flores as like a top head coaching candidate the last couple off seasons, and just every time it's been, he's not going to get a job. But again, we'll talk about that when we talk about that. No, they did a crazy job, though. Like, the Lions could not run the ball. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, absolutely nothing on the ground. Again, Brian Flores did his thing like he normally does. Flores is a madman. And yeah, the Vikings won this game when they finished with -7 net passing yards. That's bad. But again, shout out to Brian Flores for, again, being able to stop the Lions on the other side. And yeah, we'll talk about the Lions on the other side, I guess, just briefly. But not your year. For a second straight year, injuries have just absolutely killed you. Your entire secondary is hurt. No Kirby Joseph. No Brian Branch. No Tyrion Arnold. Your offensive line is... I think Brett Coleman posted about it. Shout out Brett Coleman, I guess. But 28 different offensive line combinations for them this year. 28. That's bad. Where this Lions team, that offensive line has been their strength throughout, their entire Dan Campbell tenure. And they've all been banged up. They've all missed time at some point. Obviously, Ragnow retires. They lost Kevin Zeitler last year. But you can't win when you're just injured. And they're just so injured. And again, I think that I still believe that Brad Holmes is one of the best GMs in the league. I still believe that Dan Campbell is one of the best coaches in the league. And I don't think that this is like the Lions are done. Their window is closed. I do expect them to come back stronger next year. But yeah, they need some retooling. They need to kind of fix some things and plug some holes, obviously. But this isn't the end for the Lions. I think this Lions team is still very, very good. I just think that the last couple years they have been dealt an absolute shit hand injury luck-wise. But regardless, we'll keep going here. Broncos 20, Chiefs 13. The Broncos now tie the NFL record for having 11 one-score games in a year. That ties last year's Chiefs team and the 2022 Minnesota Vikings. Great company, I guess. This is just another classic Broncos game where, why was this a one-score game? Why did the Chiefs with Chris Oladokun at QB have an opportunity to tie the game late? I have no idea. But that's how that game went. It is what it is. The Chiefs kind of played the way that they wanted to play, which was, again, they forced some turnovers. They controlled the clock. They didn't even control the clock. What am I saying? The Broncos had the time of possession battle was so much in their favor, and they just couldn't score. Again, lots of drop passes on the offense, lots of errant passes on the offense. It was, again, the classic Broncos game of they're bad. Oh my God, they won the game. It's not fun football to watch. Bo Nix is not a fun QB to watch. Games this year, they have nearly lost to the 3-13 Giants, the 3-13 Jets, the 2-14 Raiders, the 4-12 Commanders, and then the Chris Oladokun Chiefs. It's not... I don't know what it is about this Broncos team, and they essentially have wrapped up the 1 seed because the Chargers are going to sit Herbert so he can get some rest and get a little healthier before playoffs. No one is scared of the Broncos. And even the Broncos defense, while still being very good, incredible, blah, 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 it's shown some signs of weakness over the last couple years. And maybe that's just some fatigue on their part and them getting that bye. I'm sure it will be a big boost of rejuvenation for them as well. But, I don't know, man. You can't consistently just keep having close games against horrible teams. Not even it's really, really bad teams. Very, very bad teams. It's not fun to watch. It is what it is. Chiefs on the other side might have been Travis Kelce's last home game at Arrowhead. Maybe. I think he's going to retire. I don't know why he'd come back. I think the Chiefs secretly want him to retire too, so they don't have to pay him because that helps them cap space wise. But Chiefs got a lot of work in the offseason. Chris Oladokun, congrats, you did your thing. Wasn't pretty, but you nearly, kind of, sort of, not really, almost won a game. Nick Bolton's interception in the first half, that was fantastic. Other than that, not really a ton to say. Oh, people are trying to keep putting RJ Harvey in Rookie of the Year conversations too. Stop it. No. The guy, since J.K. Dobbins has gone down, that rushing game has been horrendous, and RJ Harvey is the one leading the charge there. He is not carrying the ball well. Again, he's getting touchdowns, but it's splash plays. Consistently, RJ Harvey has not been good for the Broncos this year and not been what Sean Payton had told us all in the offseason, for us fantasy heads anyways. So shut that down. The 2 Saturday games here, the 2 games that, well, I watched one of them. I watched one half of one because this was my food poisoning day. But Texans at Chargers, Texans 20, Chargers 16. Yeah, this game exactly went kind of how I thought. The Chargers couldn't move the ball because the Texans defense is like really, really, really good. The Texans defense absolutely got after Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Herbert did kind of as much as he could to try to move the ball, and the Chargers charged the game away. Cameron Dicker, the most accurate kicker in the league, blah, 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 ends up missing an easy field goal that would have, again, still would have missed by 1 point, but there was a few things where, yeah, the Chargers could have won this game, but the Texans also could have won this game. Texans scored 14 points in the first 5 minutes of this game, and then kicked 2 field goals the entire rest of the game. Just 2 teams that I just don't have confidence in. Like, I have more confidence in the Texans just because I know that they have like an elite defense. The Chargers have a very good defense, but I don't think that the Chargers defense is like if the Chargers defense were to go against like the Rams offense, I think the Rams offense picks them apart. But luckily for them, that matchup won't happen until maybe the Super Bowl. And let's just be real, that just matchup won't happen. The Texans, again, the defense did their thing. The offense is the offense at the end of the day. It's fine. Again, it just needs to be average for this team to win, and it was average in this one. I think the Chargers are doing the right thing of sitting Justin Herbert next week. I do give Justin Herbert a lot of credit. Like, again, I have joked and prodded and blah, 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 but I did say that I thought that Justin Herbert had like a serious shot at MVP, and I kind of believed in the Chargers to like some degree at the start of the year, and then the injuries to Slater and Alt happened, and then that just kind of went out the window, and credit to the Chargers. They're still playing very good football despite all the crap. I mean, it's literally just the terrible O-line that they have. But Herbert's playing like really, really good football. I think Herbert absolutely deserves to be in the MVP case to some extent. I don't know what that extent really is, but I think if I were, my awards ballot will be coming out probably by the end of this week. I'll probably announce it on Friday's episode. Either way. But yeah, I'd probably have like Herbert third in my MVP voting right now. But yeah. That doesn't really matter in terms of really anything other than just me saying that I think that that Herbert is probably like my third MVP vote right now, which, like, again, he's having a great year. Once that offensive line gets back and they actually have time to throw the ball down the field, that's the other thing. I see a lot of Chargers fans being like, oh, Ladd McConkey stinks. How did we ever believe in this white wide receiver, blah, blah, blah. You don't have time to throw the football. I don't know why, there's you literally just don't have time to throw the football. Of course Ladd McConkey doesn't look as good as he did last year because you don't have time to throw the fucking football. Anyways, side tangent, on to the night game. Ravens at Packers. Ravens 41, Packers 24. December is Tractor Cito season, and yeah, Derrick Henry absolutely came alive in this one. A career-high 36 carries, 216 yards, and matches a career-high 4 TDs. If you had Derrick Henry in your fantasy football finals, you probably won your matchup, unless your name is Joe. Sorry, Joe. Congrats to Cam, I guess. And yeah, Derrick Henry now 4th all-time in rushing touchdowns, and 10th all-time in rushing yards. It was very funny. You could go to I don't know, probably a month ago, and people were like, Derrick Henry, he might be a little washed. He's still having a good season, but he's not it's not a Derrick Henry season, and nah. And then now at the end of the year, again, still one more game left, and they still have one very important game left to play. But Derrick Henry now has nearly 1,500 yards on the season. He's averaging 5.1 yards per carry, has 16 touchdowns on the year. Just another classic Derrick Henry season. Maybe John Harbaugh, this is why you should not have a committee with Keenan Mitchell and just give Derrick Henry the ball, because Derrick Henry is still Derrick fucking Henry. Yeah, again, this Ravens season hasn't been good. No Lamar Jackson for them in this game either. Snoop Huntley comes in. Again, good enough. Just needed to be back there and just get the ball back, hand it off to Derrick Henry. That was it. He did his job. Defense did kind of their job, I guess. Like, not really. Let's just be real, because that's just, again, you're playing the Packers with all of their injuries as well. But yeah, now the Ravens, they needed to win this game. Now that sets up a Week 18 matchup, Sunday Night Football against the Steelers for the division, for that final playoff spot in the AFC. Yeah, exciting, I guess. Sure. I think that they're going to rest Lamar. Like, I don't know. Like, would you play Lamar in this Week 18 game, like, in the division? Like, I guess, like, again, it matters in playoffs, and anything can happen in the playoffs, but I honestly don't think they need Lamar to be out there on the field. I think the Ravens' offense is good enough. Give the ball to Derrick Henry. Do that. Steelers' offense is so bad. And we'll talk about that Steelers' offense in a little bit when we get there. Packers, Malik Willis is going to make a bunch of money. Malik Willis is going to be the Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones. He's going to get, like, again, decent quarterback money for a couple years, and we'll see how that ends up going. But he's going to be like the hot free agent QB that a lot of teams are going to be after. Because right now, the Raiders look like they've officially locked up number one. I actually don't know if they've officially locked it up. They've essentially locked up number one. So that's Fernando Mendoza. And then maybe Dante Moore, the Oregon QB, is going to be there. But two teams are going to get rookie QBs, and there's going to be a bunch of other teams that are going to be trying to find their next retread starter, whether that be Kyler, Tua, Malik Willis, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. I have no idea. Jacoby Brissett. There's names out there, but Malik Willis, 18-21, 288 yards, one passing TD, also added 60 yards rushing and 2 TDs. Like, he's a fun quarterback. And Matt LaFleur, being from the Shanahan system from way back in the day, working with Mike McDaniel, I wouldn't mind seeing Malik Willis come down to Miami and see what he can do. But again, lots can happen. We'll see. Yeah, I think a lot of teams are excited to play the Packers in the playoffs. I think I can just kind of say that relatively confidently. I don't have a lot of faith in their defense, but regardless, we can go on to the Sunday games now. Bucks at Dolphins. Buccaneers 17, Dolphins 20. Quinn Ewers. Cool. Good job, man. Getting a win in the NFL is hard, and you did it. Do I want you as, like, do I think you're the franchise guy? No. Do I think, it's funny, in, like, the Discord chat I'm in for the NFL Draft Exchange podcast hosted by Connor Rogers and Trevor Sikkema, in, like, the Dolphins channel, side channel there, like, someone asked, it's like, do we think that Quinn Ewers, like, has something to him? And I was like, define something. Do I think he's going to be our franchise guy? Do I think he's going to be like a starting quarterback for us for the next however many years? Absolutely not. Do I think Quinn Ewers is going to be playing in this league for at least the next 5-6 years? I do. I think Quinn Ewers is a good football player, is a good quarterback, but there's levels to this. And I think he is going to get better. I think he will be on the Dolphins next year. I think he will get starts for the Dolphins next year, but he needs to be competing with someone not named Tua at the end of the day. But yeah, they won the game. Devon Achane does his thing, as always. Bradley Chubb, I think he had a couple sacks in this one, hitting some crazy incentives for him. I think he made $1 million last game, and I think he has another chance at, I think, like $5 million more. Maybe I misread that or misheard that, but yeah, does this game mean anything for the Dolphins? No, not really. Does it kind of hurt our draft spot a little bit? Sure, I think we're still picking in the top 10, which I'm happy with that. But again, it's confidence moving forward. It's confidence of being, again, I trust Mike McDaniel as an offensive play caller. I do think he is one of the best offensive play callers in the league. He just hasn't had the guys and the quarterback to really succeed other than that. Again, we had some fun years, 2022, 2023. It was a good time, but I'm interested to see what he can do with his actual quarterback. Bucks on the other side. They are 1-7 in their last 8. No one wants to be there. This is a team that's just given up. Like, just flat out given up. Todd Bowles is pissed off. Todd Bowles even said that they're now giving teams on kickoffs, they're just doing touchbacks now and just giving the teams the ball at the 35 instead of like kicking in whatever, or like because their special teams coverage is so bad that they just give up big returns anyway. So they're just giving the ball to the team on the 35. Fire your special teams coordinator, my guy. You have, if there's 22 guys who are starters on offense and defense, you have another 30 guys who are, again, not all special teamers because some guys are like backups and whatever, but you have another at least 20 guys who are just special teamers for you. Find new players, find new coaches. Just conceding and just giving them the ball at the 35 instead of changing things. Again, Todd Bowles knows he's a dead man walking. I think he is absolutely fired at the end of this year. They need a new coach. They need new blood. I don't think it's a bad roster in general. I think they have really nice pieces across this roster, but there needs to be a new change. I think that Bucks ownership and maybe even Jason Light, the Bucks GM too, is maybe regretting the decision of not firing Todd Bowles to just keep Liam Cohen in-house. Because, I mean, we see the difference Liam Cohen has made for the Jags and the culture there and all that stuff where, again, this Bucks defense is bad, and I don't think Liam Cohen would have been the one to like really change that or fix that, but I think the Bucks would have wrapped up this division like a month ago if Liam Cohen was their head coach, but he unfortunately is not. And the Bucks are just bad, but again, they have a chance. This is more for Friday's show, but we'll talk about that. But they have a chance to still make the playoffs, win that division. But, yeah, it might not matter at the end of the day, but that's for Friday's episode. Next game up here, Patriots 42, Jets 10. Yeah, Drake May had like 5 touchdowns, was like nearly perfect on the day, got pulled like midway through the third quarter just because the game was over. And yeah, again, I don't have a lot to say about the Patriots. The Patriots are good, and they played the Jets. The Jets are quite literally one of the worst teams in the league. The Jets have had the worst point differential in NFL history in December, minus 107. You've heard that right. The worst point differential in December in NFL history is the 2025 New York Jets. Brady Cook, one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen. Just again, good for him. He's thrown an NFL touchdown. He's made a few starts. No one can ever take that away from him, but like, won't be in the league next year. He is just bad. Flat out not good at quarterback. And again, I don't fully blame him. Who's running the ball? Who's catching the ball for him? Who's playing defense on? Like, it's just, the Jets are so bad everywhere. And again, lots of Jets fans just being doom and gloom. Got to get rid of Aaron Glenn. Got to bring someone else in. Fire everyone. Chill. I had, again, my expectations for the Jets where they would be like a fun offense and maybe Aaron Glenn can kind of like build the culture a little bit and whatever. Culture is non-existent at the moment. There are still far too many people who just don't want to be there, who want to be other places. I mean, there's a reason they traded Quinnen Williams, Sauce. I think Quincy Williams is going to be out the door again. Didn't expect that thing to happen. Didn't expect, again, the injuries and stuff on offense. But at the end of the day, they have a strong offensive line. I still really like their tackles. Their interior is solid too. Garrett Wilson, A.D. Mitchell, those are 2 very good receivers to build around. I don't know. Again, Breece Hall is a free agent. They probably won't franchise tag him. They shouldn't franchise tag him just because that would be cruel to Breece Hall. But Braylon Allen coming back from his injury, maybe they draft someone. It's not a bad offensive situation for a quarterback to get dropped into next year. I will say that. I think firing everyone would be a vast miscalculation on who's going and who would want to go there. You have one bad season. Woody Johnson's already known as one of the worst owners in the NFL. It's not a prime job. People don't want to work in New York in general because the media is crazy. People absolutely don't want to work for the Jets because they're one of the worst franchises in league history. Woody Johnson does not help that, obviously. But it's, again, at the end of the day, like, yeah, could you maybe upgrade off of Aaron Glenn? Sure, but like, who's going to be that guy? Chris Shula's not going to go there. Jesse Minter's not going to go there. There's no flashy offensive like coach who's going to want to go there. I just think just ride it out with Aaron Glenn next year. See how it goes, see what it does, whatever. Give him a full off season of whatever to build this team in their mold. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, the Jets are absolutely fucking terrible. And we'll keep going here. One of the worst games of the week. Steelers 6, Browns 13. The Steelers more worried about not giving Myles Garrett the sack record than winning a football game. Aaron Rodgers. People are like, oh, it's not Aaron Rodgers' fault, the Steelers, blah, blah, blah. It is. Aaron Rodgers is not a good quarterback. I don't know why people keep falling into the rut of like, oh, the Steelers, they had a few good weeks and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, they didn't. They played bad teams, and they're not a bad team, but they're certainly not a good team. And here we are again, where the Cleveland Browns beat them in, again, a meaningless game. I think there was like the fourth straight year where the Steelers have lost to someone late in the year with like, I don't know, picking in like the top 5 anyways. I don't even know where to go with this. Yeah, Myles Garrett obviously didn't break the sack record. They were double teaming him, chipping him. I mean, that's what they did earlier on in the season. Listening to one of my other podcasts, though, I think it's Charles McDonald on Football 301 was saying that like, Myles Garrett was also just lining like way out wide from the tackle, so it was easier to chip him and whatever, where he's like, just line up over the tackle. You're Myles fucking Garrett. Just take a step into the guy and you can probably bull rush him again. This is an NFL player on the other side. Again, he's not a freakish freak like Myles Garrett, but he can hold his own. But I don't know. He was giving them more space to be able to do what they wanted. And the Browns get the win, so who really cares? I don't know. It's terrible football. The Steelers are bad. The Browns are terrible. Shedeur is not bad, but he's not good. And it's just, I don't know. He seems disinterested while also... there's only so much. He doesn't take shots ever, too, which, like, I think that's one of the things that pisses me off, where he's trying to keep his stats looking like okay or pretty good when like, okay, yeah, it's a 3rd and 9 and you just check it down instead of taking any kind of shot to like maybe get the first down. People take notice of that. This isn't 50 years ago where like people didn't really have film to break down and just needed stats. And then there's context of things now. We can always find the context behind how people did. And again, I still believe that Shedeur is going to be an NFL quarterback for a decent amount of time anyways, but is what it is. Harold Fannin Jr. left the game with an injury after a big touchdown catch. He's awesome, though. Carson Schwarzenegger is still awesome. The Steelers tried to throw, the Steelers had, a chance to, go down, tie the game, whatever. They tried throwing it on Denzel Ward 3 straight times. Don't do that. Again, there's a lot of people you can pick on in that secondary. Denzel Ward, not one of them. Denzel Ward's still one of the best corners in the league. Just stupid. Very stupid. I don't know. This was just a stupid matchup in general. Really. It pisses me off. Both of these teams piss me off. The Steelers really piss me off. Omar Khan deserves way more blame. Again, people want Mike Tomlin fired, Mike Tomlin out. Mike Tomlin would be the first coach hired as soon as he gets fired by the Steelers. I can almost guarantee you that. But I think Omar Khan, the Steelers GM, deserves a lot more blame for just how this team is constructed and how it's gone. Because, yeah, I give Mike Tomlin a ton of credit. Not having a losing season your entire career there, that's fantastic. But he's been doing it without a top 20 quarterback for the last half decade. That's really impressive to me. Either way, actually, one last note from this game. Shout out to Browns tight end Sal Cannonella making his NFL debut. He has spent the last 6 years in the USFL, XFL, UFL, and the TSL. I don't know what that league is. And he got all-pro equivalent honors in the XFL, UFL, USFL. So he's been good in these spring leagues and just kind of waiting for his chance. He finally got activated for the Browns. I think he had 2 catches. So shout out to him. Again, if you want it, you work hard enough, you can eventually get there. I guess the only bright spot to talk about in this game, whatever, Sal Cannonella, sure. Next game up here, Cardinals 14, Bengals 37. Yeah, the Bengals offense is really good. The Cardinals defense is really bad. The Jacoby Brissett was a fun story for like a couple weeks. And again, it's not to say that, Jacoby Brissett stinks, blah, 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 but he was on a run where at least like fantasy football wise, he was putting up like 20 plus points every single week, and then the last 2 weeks has kind of been stinkers for him. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of the exact way how it went. Chase Brown ends up finishing with kind of matching his stats from last year, which is funny because like Chase Brown was having such a bad year, all things considered, and now he had the same year as he did last year. Good season from Chase Brown. Jamar Chase had 2 touchdowns. Again, Burrow's a good quarterback. But shout out to offensive lineman Cody Ford. Gets a 21-yard reception on his birthday. Zach Taylor went like online because it was like, everyone's favorite play from the week, and just kind of like broke down like of like him and Cody in meetings talking about it and like where he wanted the lineup and how it wanted to be. And it was funny. They wanted Ford to line up wider than he did, because in case there was a defender in the flat or something that it wouldn't be like, again, he wouldn't be covering 2 guys essentially like with his zone or whatever, and Ford's like, no, you guys are just trying to take me out of the play. Either way, he ran whatever route he did, caught it, and then, hard to bring down a guy who's like 300 pounds and athletic, and ended up getting some decent yak on the play as well. Fun play at the end of the day. Shout out to Trey McBride, though. Breaks the single-season receptions record for tight ends. He now has 117 on the season. Yeah, Trey McBride's the best tight end in the league. So much fun. So good at what he does. Again, the Cardinals, they've got some, again, it's not great, but they do have some things that I'm like, okay, Trey McBride's great. Michael Wilson's a lot of fun. Marv obviously hasn't done anything, but I still believe in Marv a lot. I don't know. They'll be interesting. They have an interesting offseason ahead of them anyways, I can say that. Next game up here, Saints 34, Titans 26. It looked like the Titans were going to win this one, and then the game just kind of blew open in the second half. I don't know. Chase Young, strip sack, fumble, touchdown. Shout out to Chase Young. Tyler Shuck, another 300-yard game. Cam Ward had another good game. Positive things from what you want to see from these teams. Again, on the Titans aspect of it, you just want to see Cam Ward playing good football, and Cam Ward has been playing good football as of late. Has he been going against the best teams? No. But there's always bad teams in the league, and if your rookie QB on a bad team can look good, have some wow throws, that's important. That's good. Saints on the other side, again, Tyler Shuck on a bit of a hot streak, I guess, the last 4-ish games, 4 or 5 games, either way. Chris Olave, I mentioned it last week, but he's having a career year. Happy for him because his concussion issues were really bad. Derek Carr should be sent to jail for doing what he did to Chris Olave, but Olave's fantastic. Jawan Johnson's great. That offensive line again is building, and while the Saints are still minus $22 million in cap next year, that's all of a sudden it's not minus $100 million in cap going into the year. So things are building, and now all of a sudden I look at that team on paper, at least on offense, going into next year, and I'm like, okay, I think that they can have a decent offense anyways. With all this being said, the hype around Tyler Shuck is unfucking believable. The man has started in 8 games this year, played in 10, started in 8. He has 11 touchdowns on the year. Cool. And right now is the offensive rookie favorite. Absolutely not. He has had 4 good games. Again, 4 straight good games but it's again, he has started in 8 games, played good in 4 of them, and now people are like, oh, he's offensive rookie of the year. This is why awards are dumb, but this again, these are draft books. These are the sports books that are controlling these odds. It's not obviously the voters in the NFL who this is concrete and this is the actual thing. I don't think Tyler Shuck, one, deserves to even be up for the award. I don't think you should be able to play half the season and even qualify to be an award winner. But like a guy like Tat McMillan, who is not dealing, who is in not where, sorry, blah. Tat McMillan, not in the best offensive spot right now with the Panthers, but he's close to 1,000 yards on the year, which, like, to me, 1,000-yard receiver as a rookie of the year. Pretty cut and dry, pretty simple, but at the end of the day, you know who the award should go to? It should go to Shuck's teammate, Kelvin Banks Jr., having a great year at left tackle. It should go to Armin Membu, the Jets Jets right tackle, having a fantastic year. This literally would be the year to give it to an offensive lineman. Hell, give it to Gray Zabel, the Seahawks first rounder. If Tyler Shuck wins this award, I think, I have no idea what to think. Tyler Shuck should absolutely not win this award. Again, he's played 4 good games out of 8, and he's only played half the season. You shouldn't win NFL awards for playing half the season and then a quarter of the season you played a good game. No. Again, Saints are playing good football. Saints are, again, you look like you're building something. Offensive Rookie of the Year? Absolutely not. Get out of here. One last note about these teams. I'm talking way too much about these teams, by the way. Tony Pollard, 4th straight 1,000-yard season. Matches, I think it's him and Derrick Henry, the only guys who have done that for 4 straight years. I think so. Of like active, whatever, something like that. Either way, Tony Pollard's a good back. Plain and simple. Okay, now I can move on. Jags at Colts. Jags 23, Colts 17. Trevor Lawrence is still on a tear. Another 2 rushing touchdowns for him in this one. The rushing aspect of Lawrence's game, now that that's unlocked a little bit, is all of a sudden it's like, okay, is Trevor Lawrence here? Is he back? I don't know. I think he is. I think that now with Liam Cohen, I think everyone's comfortable in this offense. The emergence of the acquisition of Jacoby Myers has been huge for this team. And they're just playing really good, really confident football. I'm excited to see what they can do in the playoffs. Lawrence had another good game. The Jags just kind of do what the Jags have been doing. But this is it for Phillip Rivers. I truly do think that this is, obviously, I don't think Phillip Rivers is coming back next year. I think he's going to retire again. But even though there is a Week 18 game, now that the Colts are officially done, officially out, I don't know, they could start Phillip Rivers again and give him a final proper farewell, but he's already had his farewell 5 years ago, and now this would just be another, sending shot. I don't know. I would like to see what Anthony Richardson can do, at least in, one game this year to... I don't know. Just to see. Just for vibes. I don't know. But I didn't think that when I started this podcast, obviously, that Phillip Rivers, I'd ever get to talk about him in any actual game capacity. But here we are. And now he's leaving. Now he's retiring again. He secured that health insurance for the next 5 years for his family. And then when it runs out again, hey, maybe we'll see him come back. I don't know. Shout out to Phillip Rivers. I didn't think that it would look as decent as it did. And maybe that's a huge compliment. But, no, again, disaster season for the Colts. Gave up so much future assets to finish with 8 wins on the year and missed the playoffs, all those things. But they're set up well for next year. Well, they got to figure out quarterback, I guess, because Daniel Jones is a free agent and he's coming off an Achilles injury. And, there's other things there. But anyways, that's the other funny thing. Sauce Gardner went from a 1-17 with the Jets and then joined the Colts, who then went 1-7 down the stretch or something like that. I don't know. That's just funny to me. But we can move on. Next game here. It is the Seahawks and the Panthers. Seahawks 27, Panthers 10. Sam Darnold joins Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, and Brett Favre as the only QBs with back-to-back 13-win seasons. That's absolutely nuts to me. But, again, it's been a crazy year. The Seahawks defense is absolutely nuts. I say this almost every week. Their defensive line is just chef's kiss. It is so, so good what Mike McDonald does with his schemes on defense. It's so much fun to watch. However, the offense. I'm still, I don't know. I still don't know. I really do. The run game has been better. Shout out to Zach Charbonnet. He had a big game. I think got over 100 yards, 2 TDs for him in this one. But yeah, not a ton of faith. In general, it's really just throw it to JSN. Oh, JSN's not open. Great, what am I going to do now? Rashid Shaheed, I think, left the game with an injury too, which is obviously sucks for them because he's been a bit of a spark plug for them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have, like, I believe in the Seahawks, but I'm not fully bought in just because I'm like, the Sam Darnold hasn't been great the last month. He's been good enough, but also, I don't know. I still have my qualms. I still have my issues. Obviously, the Seahawks are really good and all those things, but I'm a little wary. But I'm also a little wary about every single playoff team. So, oops. Doesn't matter. No, probably not. Panthers on the other side. Bryce Young, 54 passing yards on the day on 24 attempts. The fewest yards since David Woodley back in 1980. No idea who David Woodley is, but 54 pass yards on 24 attempts is absolutely horrendous. And I still don't know what to think of Bryce Young. He has some games where he looks like that Bama Bryce Young. He's moving around. He's throwing the fuck out of the football. Like, oh my God, it's Bama Bryce Young. And then we have a game like this, and yes, the Seahawks defense is incredible and all these things, but 54 passing yards on 24 attempts is absolutely horrendous. And again, lots of other factors play into this. It's not solely on Bryce Young for having that bad of a game, but we're now 3 years into his career, and there's like a handful of games in that stretch where you can be like, he played really well. And most of the other ones are complete dog shit, ass, terrible football. And the Panthers have a decision to make. They have a decision this offseason to pick up his fifth-year option for 2027. I don't know if they do it. I don't think that they should. Like, honestly, if you're Dave Canales, you're not tying your job to Bryce Young for another year. You're looking for another option to move on some capacity. I don't know, but yeah, the Panthers. But again, they have an opportunity to get in the playoffs, still make the playoffs. Woo, fucking crazy. We'll keep going. Next game here, Giants at Raiders. Giants 34, Raiders 10, and the Raiders are officially on the clock at first overall. Again, I don't know if that's officially official, but I'm pretty sure it's officially official. I think it is officially official, because I think the Browns could have passed them, but now that the Browns won, and even if the Raiders do beat the Chiefs next week, I don't think it really matters at the end of the day. So yeah, the Raiders are on the clock. They will probably pick QB Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman winner out of Indiana. Yeah, the Giants kicked the shit out of them. Cool. Good for them. Like, Jackson Dart looked fun. The defense did some fun things. I honestly, I don't know how, like, anti-tanking rules in the NFL works, but to me, Max Crosby getting shut down for the rest of the season when he goes to Pete Carroll to be like, I'm fine, I want to play. And they're like, no. I would look into that a little more. If I'm on the NFLPA, I'm going to Max Crosby and I'm like, hey, what can we do here? And I don't know what really gets done other than, if I'm the Raiders, I'm trading Max Crosby. Max Crosby, although he just signed an extension last offseason, it is one of the most tradable contracts in the league because he was the first edge to sign that extension, and then Myles Garrett signed, and then there was Micah Parsons signed, and now all of a sudden he's just vastly underpaid for how good he is. And yeah, you're getting Max Crosby at 30-something million a year instead of $45 million a year like Parsons or Garrett. Like, it's a pretty good discount. And the Raiders are just so far away from anything right now. They got no one on, like, again, Ashton Jean T, Brock Bowers, but like, it's hard to build an offense around a tight end and a running back. I can guarantee you that. They need more draft picks. I think that a lot of teams would trade couple firsts for Max Crosby. I think Max Crosby's going to be gone in the offseason, which sucks for Max Crosby. He wants to be a Raider for life, but it's just not working out, and I think it's the best interest in the Raiders anyways to cut ties with him get some draft picks, really build for the future. Because like even when the Raiders are potentially contending again, Max Crosby's going to be too old, where he won't be part of like your core anymore. Again, we never know how careers go and injure. Or like Max Crosby could be like the best player ever at 35 years old. I have no idea, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's time to cut bait with Max Crosby. I'll probably talk more about that story on the NFL Weekly Update because it just was nuts in general. We'll keep going though. Eagles at Bills. Eagles 13, Bills 12. Was a rainy, sloppy game. Again, this is kind of like the Texans and Chargers game for me, where I found out absolutely nothing about either of these teams. I found out that the Eagles' offense is still atrociously bad across the board, all of those things. I found out that the Eagles' defense is still good. I found out that the Bills' offense is just James Cook and Josh Allen, and if you can stop those guys, you can stop the Bills' offense. Yeah, I found out absolutely nothing. I saw people giving credit to the Bills' D. They've been playing good football. No, they haven't. They've had, I forget who they played last week, but it was an easy matchup. Who did they play last week? Just for my own well-being. Yeah, they played the Browns last week, and they barely beat the Browns. We're not giving them credit on, they've looked pretty good the last few weeks. No, absolutely not. Both these teams are kind of the same level of stinky for, different reasons, where I don't know. I think that they're just, again, you can never discount the Bills in any game because they've got that quarterback behind them, and that's basically it. And the Eagles are just, honestly, still the most talented team in the league, but coaching is just puke. Awful. So bad. I don't get it. I love how I said this was going to be a shorter episode, and now I'm almost at the hour mark. Sorry. Just absolute slop fest. I mentioned at the top of the show that, 0 passing yards in the second half. Jalen Hurts, 0 for 7. They couldn't move the ball, and they still win a damn game. Credit to Vic Fangio. Credit to the Eagles defense. I would be losing my ever-loving mind if I was a player on that team, and this is how we were functioning. It's embarrassing. It's bad. Again, the Bills have one of the worst run defenses in the league, and they were able to stop Saquon Barkley. I don't know. Try other things. Do other things. I don't understand why it's such a struggle for the Eagles, but it is. And I don't know. A switch could get flipped, and come playoff time, again, you only need to win 4 straight games to win the Super Bowl, and I think the Eagles are still talented enough to do it. Do I give them any hope or credit? No. It's just that, again, this is just two football teams that really, really frustrate me. The Bills need a lot of help just kind of everywhere. Again, they got a lot of fine, good players on defense, but no stars. They've got no pass catchers. I don't know. It's interesting anyways. And then on the other side of it, what was it after the game? Nick Sirianni leaving the field. They're in the tunnel. And I was like, they did all their shit talking. Where are they now? And A.J. Brown's right next to him. And A.J. Brown gave him the dirtiest glare of a look of man, you better shut the fuck up before I hit you. Again, you just played an embarrassing game of football. Embarrassing second half of football. One of the worst second halves of football. Wait, is my laptop about to die? I thought I plugged that in. Oh, I never plugged in my laptop. Hold on, as I stand up and plug my laptop in, as I am still recording, blah, blah, blah. Plug in. I don't want to die and lose all my... There we go. Okay, we are back. All that to say, it's just slop watch both sides. No faith in anyone, but the Eagles defense is really, 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 really good. Moving on, final game of the week. One of the best games of the season, too. Bears 38, 49ers 42. I can't say enough good things about both of these offenses, really. Caleb Williams has absolutely arrived. He is fantastic. The Bears' run game is great. Ben Johnson is great. And even without... even without Rome Odunze, but I'm going to go in a bit of a different direction here. I'm trying to remember what the actual stats were, but between Luther Burden, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Colson Loveland, they all have around 45 catches, 650 yards. Like, they are even across the board. I don't know. Very excited to see how the Bears do next year. Very excited to see how everything goes. Just in general, I think Art might have gotten here, even though he told me he'd be here in an hour, but I don't know. Regardless, the Bears are a lot of fun. The Bears defense sucks, but yeah, again, things to build on in the offseason. No one was expecting them to be this good this year, and they are this good this year. And the 49ers on the other side. The fact that, I mean, they're playing for the division, playing for the 1 seed next week with, I mean, Brock Purdy missed, I don't know how many games Brock Purdy missed, let's just say 6 games. Nick Bosa's been out for most of the year. Fred Warner's been out for most of the year. They've been dealing with injuries across the board, and the fact that they can still be the number 1 seed in the NFC, Kyle Shanahan absolutely deserves Coach of the Year. I think I said it last week where, yeah, this Niners offense could get hot. I think it is one of the best in the league right now, where they keep getting better and better and better and better. They're just going to be really, really hard to stop. I'm going to be interested to see how the Seahawks defense does match up against them next week, but I don't know. Brock Purdy, a lot of fun. I think Brock Purdy over the last 8 weeks has like 23 like total touchdown passes. He ran in for 2 in this one. Christian McCaffrey, again, absolute stud of a player, even though he's PFF's number 18th ranked running back. Fuck off, PFF. Fred Warner also might come back for the playoffs in them. It's crazy. Either way, I'm going to get going here because this was longer than I expected because I like to ramble and talk about football like I always do. But I will be back on Friday. Might be a little bit of a different episode on Friday. Undecided yet. But as always, if you have liked this, please like, share, retweet, subscribe, tell your friends, all that fun stuff. And until next time, peace.